All right, y'all. So we back with another episode of High Time Reviews. This is Sistas season 4, episode I believe it's 5. So we pick back up with Karen telling Aaron that she's pregnant. Okay, here's the thing: you should have been told him. You should have been said something because he was inside of you around the same time. Like you're trying to act as if you never slept with this man. Man, he's in the lineup. Like, say what you want. That man is in the lineup. So he straight up asked her, he like, look, are you keep saying that it's Zach's because you don't want it to be mine, or do you know that for a fact? This bitch ain't even been to the doctors. No, let me not call her. Let me not call her bitch. This young lady has not even been to the doctors. She don't even know how far along she is, but she assumed that it's just not Ernst. And Aaron straight up tell her like, look, I feel like you just saying that and using that as an excuse to keep Zach around. Like, it's the truth. She like, oh, no, it's not. I just know for a fact it's not your baby. It's that and the third. He like, look, I don't have nothing to say about it. He like, I'm gonna love the baby. I love you. I'm gonna make it work regardless. She like, I need space, but I still want you there. I don't even know what that means. Y'all. So, but yeah, like they had that conversation. It seems like Ernest being super persistent about the whole thing. She's still trying to tell him like it's not his baby. He like, look, I'm not about to go nowhere. But my whole issue with Karen is, Karen, if you know Zach moved on, wouldn't your best play just be to hurry up and go to the doctors, find out how far along you are, find out if Zach is the baby father or not, like, and then move on? So, but I don't know. And all right, so we back at the salon still, and we got the scene with Pam and Preston. And my thing with Pam is, damn, I be wanting to hate her. I be really wanting to hate her, but she got moments where she really kills the scene. Like in this moment, her and Preston going back and forth like was a good exchange because Preston was able to carry his own. You know, she said he smelled like, but Pam is just being Pam in my opinion. Honestly, that's what she is. She's the nosy fucking secretary at the job. She don't never be working, like never. But yeah, Preston, like, why would Preston bring that girl back, thinking that would make Karen call Danny? But here's my thing. Either way, that whole shit is weird. So you're using the other girl so that Karen can call Danny, so that Danny can come back down there. Like, I don't understand. So Karen come out and she like, look, I ain't call her. He like, I ain't asked you to call her. But she like, I know you wanted me to call her. And then he like, I still got feelings for her. What should I do? Here go Karen. All of a sudden, she giving out sound advice. She like, oh, I feel like you should call her and tell her how you feel. Karen, I feel like you should stop worrying about Zach and move on like he did. I mean, just an idea, but I ain't gonna harp on that. So the next thing you got Andy and Fatima, and Andy got her feet all up. She got her Louboutins on. She got her little shit. She showed Fatima the new car. Fatima like, oh, that's a Rolls Royce. And she like, yeah, Gary bought it for me. So Fatima like, look, I know some people that can sell that shit. What the fuck, what's up? Like, she don't fuck with Gary. Gary is not her favorite person, not somebody that's high on her list. So she ended up saying, you sound just like Karen, and that rubs her the wrong way. So, but of course, she just got off the phone with Karen. So then she ends up telling Andy like, oh yeah, I just got off the phone with Karen. She called Zach's phone. I accidentally had Zach's phone. Andy don't believe it. She feel like she took the phone, even though they literally had the same phone case. Andy feel like she took the phone. So she having that exchange with it, and she saying like, what, you got Zach's phone? Like, Zachary that would sleep with his phone under the pillow because he ain't want nobody to have it. And she like, look, he ain't like that with me. Honestly, she like, I be having access to his phone. It's right there. it ain't like he be hiding it, this, that, and the third. While all in all, he just gave me the password for the shit too. And you know, she like, he wasn't ready for my password. So even though she gave the fake one, which wasn't okay. But them two geek about that, and you feel me? And then that's pretty much it for them two in that scene. And then you back at Zach Investment Property. So he ended up introducing them to Jake. Now, Gary and Jake supposedly work together. Gary got all this bread. I mean, listen, he keep buying Andy all this shit. I mean, for a long time, I ain't even know what he did. But I do remember in the first season, he got arrested for some whole shit. I mean, even though he got off, he did get arrested for some shit in the first season. That was some money-related shit, so I don't know. But he basically dropped Jake off and shit. And then him and Jake start talking about the stocks, and, you know, he propositioned him like, look, I feel like you should take me and Gary on as your investment firm. You shouldn't be in a regular bank. You should definitely get into a bigger, like, portfolio type situation or whatever. And he like, look, Zach, like, who I'm supposed to be partnering with? You and Gary? He like, oh, I don't know about all that. Like, but he also found out that Jake like does like the rentals on the home, so they end up working together on Zach's house, which I think was funny as shit that Zach was able to convince him to help him build his house. while not actually taking him and Gary on as partners in his with his money. Then he made a whole joke about which one of his parents was white. I guess he was betting that the mother was gonna be white. And I guess he was right. So that's that. Let me see where we at with it now. So we back at the airport. Granted, here we go with Fuego. So Fuego rolling up on Danny. Granted, see, that's why she should have never slept with him. That's why she shouldn't have been doing all this shit to make Preston jealous. Because now Fuego gonna start acting crazy. If Danny think that she could snub this nigga when they was in college, or wherever they was at, high school, college, whatever, if she thinks she could snub that nigga Fuego then, and now, after she slept with him twice, oh yeah, he gonna start acting crazy. He gonna start popping out. And honestly, he be on the move. I ain't no stripper travel like that, but I mean, I don't know. Like, he's literally in the airport every week, traveling. So she basically like, okay, all right, so you about to take a flight? She like, all right, go on about your business. And whole time, the other dude, the dude that's saving the girls from being sex trafficked, he's in the background like, shit, man, she curved everybody. So then he rolled up and he asked for a date. Sir, she told you last episode she would let you know. And then on top of that, you just seen her say she ain't want to go nowhere with this nigga. But, hey, I guess everybody got to shoot their shot. But here's the thing. I don't feel like Danny and Preston is doing the right thing when it comes to whatever they trying to figure out. Because Danny just sleeping with motherfuckers, but then still calling Preston out on shit. And I don't even know if necessarily Preston is sleeping with these people. I didn't see Danny sleep with two people. I didn't heard Preston go on dates, 2 dates with the one girl. So I don't know, like, especially since they've been talking, especially if you think about in that other season with the dude that Preston keep calling the butt liquor, she slept with him in that season. So then you got him, and then you got Fuego. That's 2 different people. Preston's just being accused of messing with the ex-cousin's wife, and then him actually dating the black lady. So Danny's been losing. Danny got too many L's in this situation. So he calls her. He like, can we talk? She like, look, I'm going on a date. Fucking lying, playing games. Instead of just saying, all right, let's talk, she say, oh, I'm going on a date. You're not. And he like, look, well, like, can I talk to you before you go on your date? She like, I mean, I guess. He like, all right, I'll make sure that I won't to get the landlord to let me in, because Preston got an issue with just walking into her apartment or being in her apartment when she get there, because he paid her rent for the year. And like I said in one of my previous videos, once you do shit like that, bitch, we both live here. I don't care. Like, first of all, when Danny told him to leave, I'm like, is you about to give me my money back? He paid your whole rent for the year. Are you about to give me my money back? No, I don't think so. Danny, I don't think so. So eventually she agreed to meet with him. She agreed to meet with him, but it's like she doing it just to like suffice him in this moment. She not even. It ain't even about like them getting back together or any of that shit. And then I ain't like the fact that she was putting them on a point system. So, Preston, you 2 points for Preston because Preston ain't gonna get let into my apartment. She ended up calling Karen, and then Karen is so pressed about having this fucking meeting at Andy's house. Everybody, I need everybody at Andy's house. Can everybody come to Andy's house? Woody woody woo. And I forgot that Karen had asked Andy to ask Fatima to come to the meeting. So Andy don't necessarily ask Fatima, but she like, look, I may need you for like an hour or two later on. Will you be available? Fatima like, look, I'm open or whatever. You just let me know. So I like that because Andy is making sure that she fulfilling her friendly duties to Karen while also not double crossing Fatima, because at the end of the day, she don't know what the fuck she could be walking into. The whole time we all know that Karen is trying to use this moment to try to boom on Fatima about her being pregnant. But Fatima knows. She knows. So nobody cares. And that's when she gonna look dumb, when she's sitting there and she thinking that she's showing up somebody. Especially for somebody who don't care. They don't care. So we back at Andy's office and she calls Karen. So everybody's calling Karen, I guess, trying to follow up to see if the plans are still on for tonight. And like I said, Karen reiterates that she wants her to invite Fatima. And she like, what? She like, why? She like, for what? She like, basically this whole situation concerns her too. Only if Zach is the baby father, but if you don't go to the hospital and find out how far along you are, none of this matters. I'm just trying to figure out why she putting that part off. Like, go to the doctors. Like, no, you don't want to go to the doctors because you don't want to face the harsh reality that it very well could not be Zach baby. So like, you out here doing the most, and that means you've done the most since season 3, if that's the case. Like, so like I said, now everybody's fucking calling everybody. Andy's calling. Andy had to call fucking what the fuck is her name? Andy had to call Sabrina and put her on 3-way with Danny, and they like, look, Karen tweaking. She want me to invite Fatima, and they like, what? Well, Sabrina like, that's probably not a good idea. And then Danny like, look, invite her. She like, look, shit, I just gonna bring my popcorn. Honestly, she said, I'm here for the show. So, but again, I just think Karen really thinks she got one up on her while not knowing that Zach has been completely transparent and honest with Fatima the whole time. So at the end of the day, it's not like there's about to be any surprises that Karen could bring to this meeting that Fatima wouldn't know about. She already knows Zach slept with you. She know that Zach said that you was pregnant. She don't care about neither one of them situations because they have worked through it. So at the end of the day, let it go. Let it go. Aaron, preacher man, his wife done killed herself, all types of stuff all over you, and you just won't even get this man an honest shot. You just want to keep worrying about Zach when he's genuinely not worried about you. And then the fact that you talking about using this money that he gave you to buy a house now, she better not move in this neighborhood, because then that's crazy, because she already know what a duplex is. So, and the only reason why I say that is because I don't need Karen nowhere near the spinoff. Nowhere. I mean, dead serious, like, keep her away from the spinoff. So all of them on the phone, and then they all still just trying to figure out what Karen's whole plan is and what the fuck, because she want to tell them that she feel like Fatima got to be there, and they like, look, we'll be there. They all fucking leaving work so that they can all go eventually to the meeting at Andy's house. Fucking Andy, man. I don't understand why they always have to meet some fucking way. So we got the Calvin and Maurice scene, smallest scene in the show. Probably didn't even need it. It's just about Calvin finding out that Sabrina didn't tell nobody about the argument that they had last week. Good. For once, she's keeping y'all business between y'all. You should actually, Calvin, you should actually be happy. Because normally she tell all y'all business to everybody. So for once, she didn't tell nobody y'all business. maybe because she was hella embarrassed, or maybe because she thought it was one thing, and then you told her like, nah, you misread that whole situation. So basically, Maurice sits there and tries to pull it out of Calvin what happened, while Calvin thinks that Maurice already knows. All in all, he don't. So eventually he find out he don't know. And like I said, the weakest scene in the episode, because it wasn't needed, like, or they could have saved it for like next week or something, like, because of the way they do the time frame, so it don't like necessarily have to be like the same day that they had to talk about it. So I'm guessing Danny come home and Preston outside, so she meet him at the front door, and then she let him in. She like, oh, you can come in. And this had to be the weirdest scene of the whole episode, because I don't think Danny was actually listening to Preston, or she might have had her own agenda, or she was just pushing him away or something, because the whole shit was weird as hell. He's like, I want you to teach me how to be with you, or teach me things about you. And she's like, well, when do you take accountability? I'm like, I feel like him asking for help on how to please you could be looked at as him somewhat taking accountability. Like, but like to keep asking him that as if like y'all having a whole different conversation is weird as fuck. Like, man, he's asking you to tell him and teach him what it'll take to make you happy. So at the end of the day, why do you keep talking about accountability to him? Like, Danny, at that point, you saying anything. You like, oh, you're a grown ass man. Why would I have to teach you? Isn't that the whole thing about dating people? At least I would assume is the learning process where you actually, where that person can teach you how to be with them, and they can choose whether or not they want to accept who that person is after they've learned what that person is. So for Danny to keep saying that to Preston is just weird. Like, he's giving you exactly what you want, but it's like, I think you're turned off because you feel like y'all don't have shit in common when it comes to certain shit. And I mean, granted, Preston only feel like he thinks that y'all only have the sex in common, but he wants more. Danny act like she want more, but it's clear as day that Danny don't know exactly what she want when it comes to like clearly dating this man. Like, she want him around when she want him around. I mean, I guess it's an eating your cake too or whatever type situation. So, but I think if Danny just fucking relax for a second and then allow Preston to actually just be there the way he want to be there, and then just don't block it, she'll be fine. But in the scene, she's so busy, like I said, she's so busy just like deflecting him and just like pushing him away that it just looked like a weird ass scene. Like, I'm almost certain that I'm not the only person that thought the scene was weird. So y'all let me know down in the bottom. Cause, and it's like she want to be with him. She wants shit to work. And he's like, it shouldn't be this hard. He like, it shouldn't be this hard. And he's telling her like, look, I done went out with the other girl and it was easy. He was like, and even though he said it was easy with her, he said the only thing he could think is, why wasn't it as easy with me and Danny? So, and then here's the thing. Stop making it about race. Stop saying it's about black, this, that, and the third when it comes to that shit. Because if you want him to know shit about you and you want to be with him, you gonna be with him regardless. You knew he was white when you started fucking with him. So don't always use that as your excuse to not open up to that man. Like, that's crazy as hell. So we got Fatima showing up at the Zach house. Well, the duplex, and she come in and she called him or whatever because he not down there. So him and Jake come down, and I guess they was working upstairs hanging photos or whatever. And she tried to kiss all on him. He like, give me your phone. You gave me that fake ass password. She won't tell him he wasn't ready for that. I mean, for Team, I like their relationship. I think the spinoff is gonna be really good. They gonna make me get the BET Plus. I really wasn't checking for it, but I'll get it. I'll get it because I think I'm gonna like it. So, of course, eventually Fatima gets introduced to Jake. I don't think she actually said her name. I think he just introduced himself. Um, and it's just like this weird ass exchange where Zach is like hyping up Jake, like, oh yeah, that's my boy Jake. You know, Jake got white mother. Jake went to Harvard. Ooh, 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 ooh. He a big money man. Him and my man Gary. And as soon as he said Gary, Fatima's face is like, nah, Gary, no, no, we not doing that. So, and she asked Jake like, what's Gary's last name, you know, just so she can make sure she not going crazy. And he like, oh well, it's Borders. So she at it Jake, I think Jake could sense something wasn't up with the way Fatima was asking the information about Gary. So he like, look, all right, y'all, I'm a dip. Zach, like, well, you know, you play basketball, right? Like, yeah, I play a little bit. Like, man, which side do you play basketball? The white side or the black side? Of course, Zach keep joking him because he mixed or whatever. And then he like, you want to come to the night game? You know, we got the night game. Gary be playing at the night game with us. Mind you, this night game about messy as shit. You got this nigga Jake, Zach, Aaron, Gary. Who else they gonna put in it? This is just messy as shit. Only person that need to show up now is fucking Preston. And then I guess Calvin can watch. Calvin might play. I don't know. Fuck. Calvin can watch. Calvin can play. Whatever. So he like, all right, I'm gonna come to the game. I'm gonna go check on my girl. Then I'm gonna come to the game. So once he leave, Fatima straight pull him up like, I don't feel like you should be working with this nigga. Like, he like, what? Nah, they cool, you know, what the fuck? These my boys, you know, I like hanging out with them. So she just like, no, I know this nigga Gary. And you know, but again, Fatima, you know, her impression of Gary could be completely different of what Zach version of what he see in Gary. So who knows? I think he need to relax. Them calling Karen. How many times y'all gonna fucking call Karen in one episode about one event that just need to hurry up and fucking happen? Like, she like, look, did you invite her? And she like, look, leave that shit the fuck alone. Andy literally tell Karen like, look, leave it the fuck alone. Like, what are you doing? You don't like her. You just being fucking messy. Leave the whole shit alone. She like, no, it concerns her too. Woody woo woo. No, let it go. Please let it go. Please. And I feel like Andy has been the only one that's been super transparent with about the whole shit. Like, she's the only person that's been telling her to like, Zach, move on. Zach has moved on. You need to move on. She's the only person. I feel like everybody else is just kind of just laughing at her. Danny laughing at her. Sabrina be like feeling bad about this shit. Not to say necessarily that she be feeling bad for Karen. She be feeling bad about the shit. So my thing is, Karen, you gotta chill. And then honestly, in this scene, as small as she look, bitch, you're not pregnant. They could at least gave her a little prosthetic. They gotta give her a little bump, like give her something. Like, she not even like, she giving 110 model thin. Like, talking about she pregnant. I don't see it. I don't see it. So like I said, they end up having a conversation. She's still pressing her, and then Annie like, all right, look. Annie like, look, I'm gone. I'll see you later. So we close out the episode with Andy about to go into her apartment and Gary call her and they talking, and she boom on his first call. So she banged on his first call, straight rejected. Because she on her way in the spot, and she like, what the fuck do this nigga want? So she boom on his first call. He like, shit. He call her ass again. She like, all right, let me answer. She like, Gary, what the fuck do you want? He like, can we talk? I mean, you know, she like, I just got home. The girl's coming over. What the fuck do you want? Why do you keep calling me? Here's my thing, Andy. Block him. Doing anything other than that, you want him to call. Flat out. So he like, I think you should, you know, meet me. And then I also think that before you go in the house, you should definitely meet me. So he like, don't you like all the shit I bought you? Now, it's so funny that she would say that that's not the type of girl she is, but as soon as he started saying that shit to her, she was giving like flirty smile. Bitch, if you're not a gold digger, you need to relax. I don't care what the fuck he gave you, but you need to relax. If you saying you're not a gold digger, then stop acting like it. Cause you're a fucking lawyer. I don't feel as though you actually necessarily need his money. I guess it's good to have somebody that would buy you all that shit, but I don't think you actually need it. You just closed a big ass case. Like, you don't really need his fucking bread. But the episode ended up ending with her walking into her spot and her shit is fucking empty as hell. I'm talking about looked like she got robbed. I don't know. I'm trying to think if it was an episode of Mud one time when they walked in and the whole spot was just bone ass dry. Like, matter of fact, it was so dry in the apartment. It looked like the finale episode of Fresh Prince. That's all I'm gonna say. So, according to the preview for next week, it looked like Gary done bought her a motherfucking penthouse in her name. So this he's fucking crazy. That's Sistas season 4, episode 5. And I'll catch y'all next week for that, for next week to see what's next with fucking Gary.